Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Always ready to dig in.
Today, we're heading down under, folks. We're talking electric vehicles in Australia, specifically Queensland.
A land of sunshine, beaches, and a booming EV scene.
Well, that's what we're here to find out, right? We've got this report from 7 News Queensland, and it paints a pretty interesting picture. First off, get this. Queensland has the longest electric vehicle charging network in a single state in the entire world.
Hold on, the longest charging network. That's impressive.
Right? You'd think with all those chargers, they'd be leading the pack in EV adoption. But here's the thing.
Let me guess, it's not all sunshine and electric road trips.
Not quite. According to the report, electric cars make up only 1% of vehicles on Queensland roads.
1%. Wow, that's a stark contrast to what we're seeing in parts of Europe. Some countries are seeing electric vehicles make up over 20% of new car sales.
Exactly. So what gives? Why the disconnect between this awesome infrastructure and the actual number of EVs on the road?
Well, it seems like the sentiment around EVs in Queensland is a bit different. The report highlights a real excitement about the technology. People are eager to test drive the latest models. They're embracing this idea of being part of the future of driving.
So it's more about the novelty and the cool factor rather than just the environmental benefits.
It seems that way. And of course, affordability plays a role, too. The report specifically mentions a Tesla Model 3 that had a significant price drop recently.
Ah, Teslas.
It-
Always making headlines.
Right. But that price drop is significant. It makes EVs accessible to a wider range of people.
And speaking of reaching people, the report also talks about range. Even the smallest, cheapest electric cars on the market can cover something like 300 kilometers on a single charge.
That's pretty decent, especially considering the distances people typically travel, at least in southeast Queensland, where most of the population is concentrated.
Yeah, 300 kilometers should cover most daily commutes and even weekend trips.
Exactly. Range anxiety is a huge hurdle for a lot of people considering EVs. But this shows that you don't have to break the bank to get an EV that can handle your everyday driving needs.
And with Queensland's massive charging network, those longer journeys become a lot less daunting. I mean, we're talking about a network that stretches all the way to Mount Isa.
Seriously, Mount Isa, that's incredible. They're really committed to making EVs viable no matter where you are in the state.
It makes you wonder how their approach to charging infrastructure compares to what's happening in Europe, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The report doesn't really delve into the specifics of Europe's charging situation. But it does emphasize that Queensland's network is constantly expanding. They're not just resting on their laurels.
Now, before we wrap up, I have to share this little tidbit from the report. They talk about this fully electric convertible that goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in a blistering 3.2 seconds.
Whoa, hold on, 3.2 seconds. That's supercar territory.
Right. And get this, it's connected to MG's 100-year heritage. So it's this cool blend of cutting-edge technology and automotive history.
That's what I love about the EV scene. You've got these practical everyday cars, and then you've got these high-performance machines pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
It really feels like Australia, and Queensland in particular, is blazing its own trail when it comes to EVs.
Yeah, it's a unique situation. You've got this incredible infrastructure, but adoption rates are still lagging behind places like Europe. But there's this palpable excitement about the technology. People are drawn to the performance, the novelty, the feeling of being part of something new.
It's a fascinating case study, that's for sure. It makes you wonder, will this enthusiasm, combined with the investment in infrastructure, lead to a faster adoption rate than we've seen in other parts of the world?
That's the big question. Only time will tell how the Australian EV landscape evolves, but it's definitely a story worth following.
And that wraps up our deep dive into electric vehicles down under. If you enjoyed this look at the evolving EV scene in Australia, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the world of electric vehicles. We'll see you next time.